Make sure everything else is working. Okay, cool. Let me get this up. Hey, Tenu Miyalagan is here. And of course, Tenu's going to be in action. And of course, Alicia, the Warrior Empress, is also here. Of course, even though Alicia herself isn't in action, some of her clients are going to be. And most especially Sly Cooper and Riley, albeit in different matches. Although, wait a minute, one of them is the same match. More on that later. All right, so let me just set up the stream. So this will give you a chance to go get some snacks and stuff like that. But yes, our first thing, making its return since 2K19, is a promo. Or a promotional interview is what they call it. But yes, this is earlier than usual, mainly for the fact that I do have a Mother's Day dinner to attend to. For those who don't have Discord or don't know, I have that. So I am on somewhat of a limited time. So if I don't get through all of the card today, I will be back later in the night to finish up. And also, hello to the Grand Empress, and of course, Dragonheart as well. You know, speaking of which, let me do one more change here. I think I just realized I forgot something else. Let me do this. Let me just customize one of the participants, if I may. Oh. I hate having to do this again, but let me see. I haven't seen Najee in a while, so let me take him out. And let me replace him with the Survivor Grand Empress. There we go. All right, so let me just randomize these again, which I hate doing this, but gotta do it. Like the old saying goes, a magician never reveals his secrets. But just know that Riley is in there. Oh yes, I'll tell Mrs. Taju a happy Mother's Day as well. And happy Mother's Day to you as well, Grand Empress. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers of those in the chat. As well as, you know, like Sly Cooper, Tenu, and if I'm missing anybody, let me know. But and Riley too. Oh yeah, and if you guys want to see a Mother's Day show proper, you can check out my friend G-Rod 187, aka Dragonheart. All right. Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, let me save this. I also let me know if the stream is lagging. I mean, it is on my end, but that could just simply be because I'm looking at my own stream. Just let me know. Also, Amanda Rose, and of course, Amanda Rose is in a match of her own. And it is great to see Tammy, among others, and of course, Laser from American Gladiators will be facing off against Kaiserheart. So obviously, Dragonheart's family is going to be in action through much of the show. But for all that, let's get started right now. And thankfully this is wireless. I can just go right to it. So, all right. Yeah, KJ is fighting. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't notice that. But my condolences to Dragonheart 2. Dragonheart Jr. Oh, okay. All right. Let's start it off. So, Sly Cooper has something to say to... let me turn on my fan. I don't want it to get so stuffy in here. Okay, there we go. Well, Sly Cooper has something to say as far as Clockwork is concerned. And I imagine you have a lot of vitriol to the man. You'll be taking a hiatus, recovering from surgery. Understandable. No, it's understandable. And also hello to Stephen Crawford. Okay. I'll keep her in the rotation. Well, let's see. All right, let me see if I can channel Sly Cooper's. Well, Clockwork, you and I have some unfinished business between the two of us. Oh yeah, you put me in a dumpster in that dumpster match over a month ago. And I hadn't forgotten about it. And while you may have embarrassed me then, I intend to finish you here. So the next time the two of us meet, I will beat you in record time. Wow. Strong words from Sly Cooper. Well, now let's get to our actual first match, and since the parties are here, we'll just go right into it. Oh yeah, let me get my my channelaunch.com here. No, he's not. In fact, I'll go into more detail when we get to that Royal Rumble match, because it does involve Sly and Clockwork and Neela and one other person that's going to that has her sights set on Neela. I say her because it's Violet.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of figured that's what you would say, Sly.
From Michigan, weighing in at 200 pounds, the Gladiator, Prince KJ.
Yep. Hey, what's up, Joshua? How's it going there, Josh? So Joshua, of course, is going to be in that Rumble match. Yes. Now, of course, this is part of the King of the Ring tournament, and originally it was going to feature Blaze McCoy and one other person. For Blaze, I wasn't able to renew his contract in time. And also hello to Logan Windsor, but...
And his opponent,
But here are the American Gladiators. And Primetime. What's up, Primetime? Primetime does have a match later in the show. And of course, the American Gladiators, you know, unlike in the show where they have the advantage because they're big and athletic and the most imposing force on the show, you know, this is going to be closer to an even match, and especially with Kaiser Hart Jr. Although Kaiser Hart has never fought Laser as much as Laser has never fought Kaiser Hart, though. Hey, what's up, Triple Beat? How you doing, man? But yeah, while I wasn't able to get Blaze on the show, the other guy, unfortunately, got himself in hot water to a point where I had to suspend him and ultimately release him from the show. And so basically it comes down to a battle of the replacements is what it is. Anyway. And yes, you can also check out Joshua's content. I'm just catching up on the chat. And Brandon Cornwell. Also, I didn't if I didn't see you, I'm so sorry about that. And Triple Beats here, and okay. Now that we got everybody on the show, or accounted for, let's get to it. So this is under normal match rules, so we all know that we all know that Laser is athletic and strong. But I'm certain that Kaiser Hart is going to test him, being that he's never been in a wrestling match. Well, at least not the Laser that I knew. Because this Laser has been in the ring before. Okay, so that's what it's called, the laser beam. I actually like that. And of course, Dragonheart RX and Emma are accompanying Kaiser Hart Jr. Yeah, this is the creation of Laser from American Gladiators. And powerbomb right to Kaiser Hart Jr. KJ. I'll call him KJ for short. And also the famous Patty Lonelay is here. And now he's on top of the barricade. And, well, that was a miss. I mean, then again, I guess Laser must have baited him. And he throws him right back in the ring. And then, whoa, a buckshot lariat? I did not know he had that in his arsenal. And I'm not sure. Oh, the referee's fixing the turnbuckle. And a shooting star press on the back of Laser, but Laser keeps going. Now, I will say, as far as Laser is concerned, is that he's one of my favorite gladiators on the show in its original run. Anyway, a spear onto Laser and a pin. 1, 2, no. Laser showing us how tough he is. Clothesline. Another one. Ducks one of his own. And a drop kick. And wait a minute. Why is there a sledgehammer in the ring? Well, now the referee's going to throw it out. And as he should. And, he was distracted by Emma. And I believe Diamond was not too happy with, the Gladiator Diamond wasn't too happy with that distraction. And ended up returning the favor. Anyway, Superman punch. And a spear of his own. Oh, but KJ got up. And then, uh-oh. Anyway, a tornado DDT, but uh-oh. I hope I didn't get disconnected. Please tell me I did not. Hang on. I'm just making sure that the... Okay, good. Okay, cool. Oh, that scared me because I thought, like, because I disconnected in the chat, it disconnected the thing. I'm like, thank God for that. All right, now KJ going up, but gets countered into a power bomb. Anyway, wait a minute. Nice Hurricane Rana. Yeah, I saw what you said there, Jose. It was just that the chat box on my end was having a seizure, really. I don't know if this is B Super. I think this is just a different... I think it's a different guy. 1, 2? No. Because we had a guy named B Super before, a former world champion. And now Ice is on the apron. I'm not sure what they're talking about. The laser beam from out of nowhere. 1, 2, and it almost cost him. And what? Look at Ice. She's floating in the air. And then a dragon twist cutter on an actual dragon? 1, 2, no. Well, now Laser going up to the top rope, or the second rope. But KJ is in trouble. Kaiser Hart Jr. is in trouble. But Kaiser Hart's still going to fight. Oh, but then gets caught with a right hand and a sunset flip powerbomb outside the ring. However, KJ... Wait. The gladiator cutter? Okay. Now both these guys are risking a count out. 7. Now Kaiser Hart gets right back in. And so does Laser. Oh my gosh, Laser almost lost by a count out. But Ice is still floating in the air. Now goes for the pin on Laser. 1, 2, no. And then a tornado DDT again. And then, well, this is a drop kick. But Laser's showing us the agility that some people don't know that he has. And he just showed it. Now goes up to the top. Is he going to fly? And went for the 054, but it missed. Although the uppercut didn't miss. And Ice is still in the air. And then, a code breaker from out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3, and Kaiser Hart Jr. got it. And then finally, Ice finally went back down to the ground, but that code breaker, or maybe the dragon breaker, that's what I'll call it that. The dragon breaker was enough to finally put down Laser, but then again, this was Laser's first match, but I give him credit for, for both him and Kaiser Hart for putting on a 5-star match. Well, here's the move that ended it. The Dragon Breaker. No, absolutely.
Here is your winner, the Gladiator, Prince KJ.
All right, so of course, Kaiser Hart Jr. will move on into round 3 in the tournament in place of the guy that got himself suspended. But up next we have yet another replacements match, and in that case, I am going to reach out to those two and let them know. Capitalize his name, KJ. Not both letters capitalized. Okay. So that's our next matchup. Xander Black and Stargamer. So let me just get Xander and Star. Okay. All right, so let me get now Jose's seriously, Jose, you're starting wars that you might not be able to finish, my friend. All right, I'm just letting Azrael know that his son is in action. So, as far as the Queen of the Ring is concerned, we have our final 8. Now we're just trying to get there with the men, or the King of the Ring. And then the same thing will apply to Mr. Stargamer. All right, so Tendu's going to go for Stargamer to win. Well, all right, let me catch up on the chat. So Jose attacked Laser. It's Laser with an S, but still. Yeah, oh yeah. Why doesn't... Well, hey, if he wants to challenge for it, like, he could use his bonus match to challenge whoever the champ is. he can challenge the champion. It just wouldn't be for the belt, but it would help him immensely.
Making his way to the ring from Omaha, Nebraska, weighing in at 200 pounds, Xander Black.
So Xander, of course, is accompanied by the Black family, or the House of Black, as they call themselves. And this will be a first-time matchup between Xander and this man. Well, Jose, just know that you're not on the main card, but that's only because I want to make sure that you're 100% by the time we get to the Super Show. So, of course, the man in the middle is Star Gamer. And the man with the black and red-tipped hair, that is Lord Shadow. Of course, based, of course, on Shadow the Hedgehog. And then, of course, the other guy, the man dressed as Nightwing, that is Rob Gamer. And we're going to see him in a match of his own later in the show. But make no mistake about it, Jose. By the time we get to the Super Show, or our pair of Super Shows, that is, no security is going to stop me from getting my hands on you. And now, let's get right back to the show. And, well, Star Gamer was anticipating... Well, both these guys made a move and they both missed. But fair play. Nice crossbody off of the corner of the turnbuckle. Oh, and then Star Gamer was able to catch not Azrael, but rather his son Xander. Knife edge chop, another one, and then a back elbow. And then a drop kick, but missed. Oh, misses that elbow, though. Does Star Gamer. But a Hurricane Rana. I mean, of course, Xander is at that stage in his career where he's young and he can not only take it, but he can move. And now a pin. One. No. Kick out by Star Gamer. Now, of course, originally this was going to be the matchup between Iron Smasher and Leon Young, but since I was unable to sign him to contracts prior to this point, it's now Xander and Stargamer, and the winner of this will face off against Wally in the third round. So, yeah, what a prize to get, in that if you win, you face off against Wally, but hey... That's just what that's what the tournament can do. Anyway, a stop right to the gut of Xander, and then Whisper in the Wind onto Xander in a pin. 1, 2, no. I mean, personally, I like the fact that, somebody made the American Gladiators, and in fact, I think you are the only one, if not one of the few, that have made the American Gladiators. So I love it. I thank you so much for providing something new on the show. And it was something that I grew up with when I was a much younger lad. And you did a great job with it, like even with the logos and everything. All right, now Star Gamer going for a Starplex. Well, I mean, that's what he calls that move. The Starplex. 1, 2, no. Of course, Star's going to have to do more than that. But now Xander's in trouble. And Star, the Star Driver. 1, 2, no! Kicked out of it. And now Star has to wonder, what do I have to do to put away Xander? Well, certainly sitting on your butt's not going to do it. I'm not sure why he did that, but a miss. Hey, JW, what's up, man? By the way, JW, outside of Universe Mode, you have a match, and it's against against Dakota in a War Games match, and I was wondering, which 3 people are you going to choose to team up with you? I'll let you think about that. You have the whole time. Between now and when that match does happen. And a German suplex on to Star Gamer. And then a slingshot swanton bomb, and that connected. Thankfully, yeah. But now both guys are going back and forth with the strikes. Now going strong style, a la New Japan. And then an Insiguri, which is a kick to the back of the head or to the side. And now, wait a minute. Xander is having a talk with Lord Shadow. I believe Xander said to him, "Look what I'm doing to your friend right then and there." All right. Well, of course, Star was able to counter that, but Xander gets him down on the mat. And then a super kick right to the head of Star Gamer. And then, oh wow, a black cutter, or what do I call this? I'll call it the ninja cutter, or if he has another name for it, he'll tell me. Oh, I try to be the best there, Mr. Riley. And I gotta say, Riley, you're a really good friend. I just know that you're still growing. You're still learning. Anyway, now going for the pin on Xander this time. 1, 2. And Xander finally ran out of gas as Star Gamer got the win. I mean, of course, Star Gamer hit him with some very good moves. Xander made a comeback, but by the end, Xander just ran out of gas. So it just came down to a matter of who could go long, and it was Star Gamer.
Here is your winner, Starman.
And you just have to keep going, my friend. Okay, so with that, Star Gamer has advanced to round 3 as an alternate, but will have to face off against Wally in round 3. But coming up next is that Rumble match. And that match is up next. Let me exit and then come back out. So let me start right from here. So that way you can see who's in it. So, of course, you have some of the usual suspects. I mean, you have your, well, of course, we also have the return of Brandon Cuevas and the return after a one-season absence of Blade Charge. So you have some returns. And then, of course, you have Jesse Jackhammer and you have Sean Sanders. Both those guys are in this match. And, of course, you have the famous Riley is in this. But you also have two feuds in play. First, you have Clockwork and Sly Cooper. And, of course, I know for a fact that Sly Cooper wants to get his hands on Clockwork as much as Violet is going to want to get her hands on Clockwork's right-hand woman. Although I don't think they're in a relationship. I just think they're partners in crime. But either way, Neela is who Violet is after. Of course, you also have Brenda, and then of course you have the Grand Empress and Tammy Martinez, and of course you have the original Kaiser Hart who's in there. But you also have the debut of Ice Baby. So, of course, Ice will have her first match on the show, among others. All right, so now that we got all of that settled, and of course we also have Tenu in there too, all I have left to say is, let's get ready to rumble, baby.
The following is the Royal Rumble match. Now, the two superstars that drew number 1 and number 2 will start the ring at the same time. Other superstars will join in the order they drew. This will continue until all 30 superstars have entered the ring. Eliminations occur when you are thrown over the top rope with both feet landing on the floor. The last superstar in the ring will be declared the Royal Rumble winner and will go on to face the champion of their choice at WrestleMania!
So who's up first? I mean, the smoke is coming in. Who is this? I know most people are either going to go for themselves, for him or herself, or any of their family members, like most people are. But in this case, it's Alexander Richards.
Introducing the participants. First, from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 228 pounds, the Demon, Alexander Richards.
Well, of course he is the Dragon King in many ways, but he's also the father of not just Violet, but also Vera. And of course, he is the husband of Diamond Sky. But of course, he's also part of the Richards family. And of course, we all know that dragons, or those who, or Lagoo from, like, if you've seen, the animes, or if you've ever played the Fire Emblem series, You've seen you've seen the people that can turn into animals. Well, in this case, this man is a dragon. But of course, he's in human form. But aside from that, he's every bit the dragon that you see. Though the only other thing I have to ask is, who's going to start with him? I mean, it could be anybody, really. So who is going to start with him? I mean, it could be Clockwork. It could be Neela. It could be Riley. I don't know. It could be anybody. I'm not sure. Oh, it's Brooklyn Joker. Of course, he looks a lot different here than he does in some of the other feds that have 2K26.
Introducing the individual who drew number 2 from Brooklyn, New York, weighing in at 367 pounds, the World Heavyweight Champion, the Jester Barker.
So, of course, there you see Brooklyn Joker, and right now he's in a good mood, but when the bell rings, it's all business. But for everyone else that's in this, good luck to you guys. And may the best and and also let me turn up my phone in case anyone's trying to call me. There we go. All right, here we go. All right, good luck, everybody. Oh, match underway. Sly Cooper wins the match in under 5 minutes. Well, that's not going to happen in this match. And anyway, nice double axe handle. And then a leg drop onto Alexander Richards. And number 3 is Tumby. And man, is she's in the ring with these two giants. I mean, one is a dragon, and then the other is a very large and imposing man. Oh, but she's going right after him. Although he kind of used his assets to get Tumby off of him. And number 4 is Violet Utaker. And now let's see what Violet does. Now, I will say this, though. If we don't finish the main card, by the time I have to get ready to go to Mother's Day dinner, then I will come back later in the night to finish it. So there you go. But right now, Violet's going after Joker. First time matchup between these two. And number 5 is Goku. Goku's in this. I should have mentioned that Goku was in it. Shoot. Oh well. And also, hello to Carlos Larry. Did I have Carlos? Now, I will say that Carlos and the Ryan family are going to challenge for the 4 Toads titles at one of our 2 Super Shows back-to-back. Number 6 is Jen Wolverine. And, of course, that is the grandmother of Alexander Richards. Of course, Jen is a dragon herself, so that's why, the dragon people don't age the way that humans do, so that's that. And the same could be said for Violet, as she's fighting her own father. And now number 7, lucky number 7, is Riley. Now Riley makes his first appearance, and he goes after the big guy. No, instead goes after Goku. Well, let's hope that that's the case. And right now, Violet looking to eliminate Alexander, as much as Riley looking to stay in the match. Number 8 is Patty Chase. So now Patty's in there, and she goes after Goku. And wow, look at the strength of Patty. I'm like, Patty, what did you... wow. Then again, Patty does have that wonderful strength that she has. Although I have to think that maybe, Kaiser Hart trained her. And, if that's the case, he did a great job with it. Thanks, Alicia. Well, first person out is Goku. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not Goku. Oh, that was Alexander who got eliminated. Oh, well, one of the people you could pick is, you could pick anybody. You could pick, you can pick Joker. All right. But yeah, you can pick Joker, or you basically you can pick anybody that you do know. But I'll show you the roster when we get to that match. The full roster, that is. Number 9 is Jesse Jackhammer. And now Jesse going after Violet. Oh, I appreciate that. Oh, back elbow onto Patty, but then a stunner or a jawbreaker. Now goes for a sleeper hold onto on a Brooklyn Joker. Meanwhile, Tumby is going to Suplex City. Nope, gets clotheslined instead. And now, wait a minute, Riley setting up Goku, but Goku saw what was coming. Oh, Jen Wolverine's out. Okay, I didn't see that. And Tumby gets eliminated by Riley. Number 10 is Lady Danger. However, Brooklyn Joker looking to eliminate Violet, who wanted to get her hands on Neela. But we still haven't seen Sly Cooper, we still haven't seen Neela as well as Clockwork. But yeah, I did get Blade Charge recently, so he's in there. And a slam onto Violet. And now Violet going to get sent for the right and choke slammed. But then Patty comes to her rescue. And meanwhile, Riley and Kogu still fight each other. And Riley takes out Goku. Now he goes after Brooklyn Joker and then Violet. And now it's Ice Ice Baby. And now Ice goes right after Riley, and then a moonsault onto Jesse Jackhammer. And now it's Violet and Ice fighting each other. And now Riley is roaring like the Yoshi that he is. But he gets right back up, and Tammy is in there. Tammy Martinez has now entered the match. And then Riley roars. And, well, he almost took out Jesse Jackhammer. And a German suplex onto Tammy Martinez. And Tammy, well, she tried to take out Brooklyn Joker, but Joker dipped the shoulder and sent her out. Number 13 is Louis Levanquer. And a Canadian jackhammer onto Patty. Patty's still going. And now Ice is now going to try to get rid of Joker, but Jesse Jackhammer takes out Patty. And Ice just got rid of. No, you haven't even entered the match yet, Joshua. But no, Ice just took out Brooklyn Joker. Oh yeah, I got to do this. I got to switch target. There. And then Riley, nope. Almost eliminated Violet, but Louis Levanquer takes out Jesse Jackhammer. And now Riley gets thrown over and gets eliminated by Violet. But Riley had a good run. I mean, Riley took out 3 people in this match. And then a press slam onto Violet, and then an ice stunner, and finally Clockwork shows up. Number 14. And now he goes right after Violet. Of course, you still have a member of the house with Louis Levanquer, the man in the uniform. Well, now they switch off for a moment. And then Ice saved herself. And now here comes another member of the house, and that's Brandon Cuevas. But then Louis gets eliminated by Clockwork. But then Clockwork goes right back to Violet, who's been in there the longest out of these 4. And number 16 is Flames. And then the Ice Beam onto Brandon Cuevas as Flames goes right after Clockwork. And nice drop kick there to Violet by Ice. And then a knee right to the face of Clockwork. And number 17 is Maddie Sabin. The famous pink cat is in. So now you have two cats in there. You have a pink cat. As well, I mean, you have two cats in there. One is pink, and then one has a light blue tail. So now it's turned into a literal cat fight. But then Clockwork gets thrown over the top and gets eliminated by Violet. Violet is kicking some butt in there. But number 16 is primetime Sean Sanders. But right now he's in the middle of a fight with Brandon Cuevas, is primetime. But now Amethyst and so now you have Flames and Ice fighting each other. And there's Neela. And to think that Neela got a better number than Violet is incredible, but she is met by primetime Sean Sanders. And then, wow, what a smash onto Primetime. But Primetime fights out. And number 20 is Brenda. And Brandon Cuevas gets thrown over, but stayed in. Clothesline onto Violet. And then Violet, well, takes out Brenda, though. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely there, Joshua. And then thrown over the top rope is Flames. And Flames got eliminated. I believe that was from Maddie. I believe Maddie Sabin eliminated her. So one cat eliminated the other. But then Maddie gets thrown over. Oh, she survived for the moment. And then Ice, nice counter onto Sean Sanders. Yeah, Ice is still going. The only other person that's been in there longer than her is Violet. In the black with purple trim. And then nice takedown onto Maddie. Oh, but then Sean Sanders looks to put away Ice. And finally does so. But Ice had a wonderful run. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, Dakota? How you doing, man? And as that happens, Revy Black is up next. But the famous Dakota is in. There we go. I have to switch every time somebody, focus the camera on somebody that got eliminated. I don't know why it does that. But yes, welcome to the show, Dakota. And of course, later in the show, you'll be in action. But who's up next? So there you see Revy, the one with the raccoon tail or the fox tail, sorry. But next up is the return of Blade Charge. But one other person we haven't seen is Sly Cooper. Anyway, a Neela driver onto Blade Charge. And Brandon Cuevas gets eliminated by Brenda. Oh yeah, Survivor Grand Empress. We haven't seen her yet. Although Revy eliminates Brenda. Brenda gets eliminated by Revy. That might happen, Joshua. And now Sean Sanders holding on as Sly goes after Blade Charge. Nice counter by Blade Charge with a Northern Light suplex as Blade Charge proceeds to stomp a muddle in Sly Cooper. Although Sly gets out of the way of the neck snap. And then a slide cutter. Nice move there by Sly Cooper. 30. There's 30 in there. Oh, and Sean Sanders gets a hold of Sly Cooper. And number 24 is Kaiser Hart. So we have Patty's man in there. So we saw Patty in there, but now we have her man. I suppose the one saving grace is that, those two don't have to fight each other. Even though part of me would think that they might like that. Although Kaiser Hart gets thrown over by Revy. Wow! Kaiser Hart had a short stay in there. And then Sean Sanders just got tipped over and sent outside. And as that happens, Wally is up next. But yeah, Sean Sanders just got tipped over by Sly Cooper onto the outside. And now Revy. And look at Revy. Wow, she took out two men. She took out Kaiser Hart in record time, and then she takes out no, she doesn't take out that. She takes out, and as that happens, Wally takes out Neela. Let me switch the target. There we go. I do. And as that happens, Survivor Grand Empress makes her first appearance. And she goes right after Sly Cooper. And immediately goes after the pink cat. Well, I'll have to get, I'll get another thing of water after this match, so I'll do that. Number 27 is Diamond Sky, and what a luck of the draw she got here. Yeah, she has, black and pink hair, and she's decked out in pink. She looks great. And now Sly Cooper in a bit of trouble against Wally. Number 28 is Jamar. And now Sly Cooper going for the Cooper driver. But then Sly Cooper goes right after Jamar. Of course, Jamar and Wally are part of the Shield World Order, the SWO. But now we have Grand Empress and Diamond Sky fighting each other. Number 29 is Aria Black. So there's still one more to go. And then Sly Cooper gets sent over the top rope, but nope, stayed in. All right, so we have a full ring, so that means that one person needs to get eliminated before another person can come in. And out goes Aria Black. What a short stay she had. And Jamar took out somebody. Who was that? Oh, Jamar took out Grand Empress. Center tipped over the top rope. But not a bad showing for Grand Empress in her first fight in a long time. Oh, but now Wally fighting his own guy. And now Jamar going after Revy. Although I think that might have just made Revy mad. But instead, a suplex to Revy. And a head scissors takedown on a Wally. And a super backbreaker to her own tag team partner, the Sakura Warriors, by Revy to Maddie. All right, now it's time for the number 30 to come on in. Who is this? Wait a minute. Joshua wasn't in this? I thought he was in this. But instead it's Tenu Miyalagin, but you know what? Out of character, I think I forgot to put Joshua in there. Or I had forgotten that Joshua wasn't in there. I'm sorry I got your hopes up, though. Well, I'll have to give Joshua a match or something. Or I can give you, or I can put you in a different match then. But as that happens, Revy and Wally are out. It's the one thing I can do is help with that. Oh, I got to switch target here. Oh yeah, we can put Joshua in the War Games match, like especially if JW wants to have him. Because there is a War Games match, though. And as that happens, Tenu getting double teamed by Jamar and Sly. Okay. But I'm also considering options of where else I could put Joshua. I feel bad for him because I forgot that I didn't put him in this match. A tables match, not a bad idea. All right, so now we're down to our final five. We have Diamond Sky, Sly Cooper, Jamar, Tenu, and Maddie Sabin. And Diamond Sky gets eliminated by Sly Cooper. So now we're down to 3 men and 1 woman. I mean, Tennu got the lucky spot of all. But then goes after Maddie. Yeah, Maddie could get this. I mean, but right now she's in there with the blue tiger and a raccoon and Jamar. And whoa! How did Sly Cooper get the strength to do that? I guess maybe Carmelita was training him, I guess. And a drop kick onto Jamar, and then a miss. And then a Jamar driver. Now goes after Tennu. I mean, for the winner of this will propel one of those people. You'd be surprised at how strong Sly is. Although, now Tennu fights off Maddie. And then Jamar gets a hold of Maddie as the raccoon and tiger fight each other. But then Sly gets set onto the ropes. And Tennu throws him out.
A competitor has been eliminated.
So Tennu gets eliminated Sly gets eliminated by Tennu. And then Tennu gets dropped by Jamar. But a great run by Sly. And what athleticism on the part of Tennu, but then Tennu with a suplex neckbreaker by Jamar. I would say Kingdom, his current theme. And now Tennu trying to hold on, but then gets punched off and eliminated, but great showing there by Tennu. But now it's down to Jamar and Maddie, and those two have been fighting each other for quite some time. But we will see Tennu back for that War Games match, given that he is part of Dakota's... it's not so much Dakota's team as much as Dakota is the leader of the Super Generation. And Tennu's a part of it. You know what? I have an idea as to which match I can scrap and put in its place for Joshua. Especially if there's a table involved. So I have that. So Joshua, if you're in the chat, I'll put you in a tables match. And especially with somebody who didn't already have a match, so I'll do that for you. And also, hello to FMF Gaming. It's great to see you once again. If I didn't say hello, I'm so sorry about that. And Jamar gets the win. Well, Jamar has definitely stepped up his game, and now he's starting to win.
Here is your winner, Jay Crusher.
So Jamar gets the win. And for his efforts, he gets to face off against the Intercontinental Champion, Andromeda Utaker. And then Jen, of course, suffered a minor injury. I'll have to keep that in mind for the next one. Okay, so let me exit and then edit some matches. So let's do that. So I was going to feature D-Generation X against the Super Mario Brothers, but I'll edit this. So let's do that. So let's see who's in the chat that didn't have a match. That doesn't have a match later on. So let me do that. Let's see. So all right. So we have Joshua, and then we have. Well, Dakota has a match later on. Wait, Carlos. I don't have Carlos booked. Or if Warrior Empress wants to be in it, if you want to be in it, I'll put you in too. It doesn't have to be one-on-one. But at the very least, I got Carlos and there we go. So you could have one-on-one, triple threat, 4, 5, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. Okay, so we got at least 2 or 3 people now. Let me see who else. I mean, there's Jose, but I'm trying to save him so that way he can be at 100% for when he fights me. Oh yeah, Diamond. I forgot about Diamond though. Wait, I got a better idea. I just got an idea. I got an idea. Okay, so let me do this here. Let me just replace the people that are in this. Hold on. So on one side you have the Warrior Empress. Oh, right. All right. Well, let me put. So yeah, you could pick Warrior Empress if you wanted to. That's one. And then, and just focusing on custom superstars. I mean, sure, you could pick any WWE guys. Like you can pick any of them. Now, AJ, of course, is gonna face either you or Dakota in that match. So of course, AJ is off, but you could pick Alexander Richards. I mean, again, you don't have to pick any of the men. You could easily pick some women too. But you have Alexander. Who else do we have? Oh, let me see. Who else do we have? Okay, cool. Andromeda. You have Angela Cooper. I mean, who else do we have? I'll go. Oh yeah, you have Atticus and Azrael. So those are 2 people that you do know. Same thing with Blade Charge and Brandon Cuevas. Although actually, I don't think Brandon would do it, if only because he's with his brother. But you could pick Joker. You could pick Captain Danger. You could pick Carlos Larry if you wanted to. Carmelita, Chun-Li, Daisy Spider, and then of course you're fighting Dakota, so you couldn't pick him. But the 2 Damians, Richards and Shelley, and then of course here's Diamond, the Gladiator Diamond. I'll give her this outfit. Yeah, I'll give her this outfit. So I'm just going through the roster really quickly. You have Diamond Light, you can pick him, or Diamond Sky, or Dr. Ty, or any of Dragonheart's family members, including Dragonheart and, Junior, RX, Emily Elvis. Then of course another member is Emma or Ezra Black. You could even pick Goku if you wanted to, or Golden Angelo, the cosplayer of James Bond, or the Canadian Bowser, or Ice from American Gladiators, or the guy who just won that Rumble match, Jamar, or Jen, or Jesse Jackhammer. And then you could pick Jose, but I highly doubt he'd go. And plus, I am trying to save him, so he's off. But then you could also pick Joshua. Here's Joshua's character, by the way. Okay. And then, of course, you have yourself. You have Kaiser Hart and his son, as well as Kasumi, Kelly Mavericks, Crushing Kelly, you can pick her, or Lady Danger, cosplaying as Harley Quinn, or Laser from American Gladiators, or Leo Angel, or the two Lilianas, Ladrona and Lancaster, or Lord Shadow. Oh, okay. Whenever I have to. Okay, cool. Lissa, you take her. You have Maddie, my Mario Girl, Mitty, Mike Wasson. You do know who he is. Najee, and then this is Neela from the Sly Cooper series, or Paper Tay, or the famous Patty Chase, or primetime Sean Sanders. You know who he is. Professor Kyle, Revy Black, and then Rob Gamer, or Rose, or Riley, Ryo, Sarah Richards, Cheyenne, the famous Sly Cooper, or Spike Ryan, Stargamer, or the Mario Brothers. You can pick either one of them, or both of them if you wanted, or the Grand Empress, or Tammy. Tenu is with Dakota, but you can pick Tiffany Black, your ex in many ways, or me. You can actually pick me, or Tomada, or Tumbi, or the sisters Vera and Violet, or Wally, and Xander Black. So that's everybody. Okay, so let me put Carlos in there. But I was just going through the roster for JW. All right, let me make sure everything looks good. All right, cool. There we go. Oh, yeah, let me save. And now let's start the match. So, of course, we have Joshua teaming up with Carlos as, of course, we have Warrior Empress teaming up with Diamond. Okay, so, let me write this down. Primetime, Jamar, and Wilson. Those are actually good picks. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so you have Jamar. Sean Sanders. And Mike Wasson. Yeah, definitely good picks. I'm not going to lie. And then, of course, we'll get to the order of entry, aside from the fact that you and Dakota will start, but from number 2 to number 4 in order. But up next is our 1v1 champion. And, of course, former Blue Toad Wrestling World Champion and a Cyberspace Federation World Champion.
Team Tables Match. Introducing first, from Delaware, the 1v1 ranked champion, Warrior Empress.
That's a lucky belt. So the object is to, yes, indeed put your opponent through a table.
And representing the Gladiators.
Gets a shot at whoever is the World Heavyweight Champion. If you're talking the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, that would be Brooklyn Joker. The World Heavyweight Contendership is on the line. I imagine Joker would love to have a contender. Although in the case of Warrior Empress, she already has a match for the Blue Toad Wrestling Women's World Championship. But for the other three, I can make that arrangement. So if you're Brooklyn Joker, you're just hoping that Alicia gets the win, or is the one that puts somebody through a table, which means that nothing would happen. But if this guy does, well, he would get it. So now we have the phenomenal son, Carlos Larry.
And their opponents, first from Birmingham, Alabama, weighing in at 230 pounds, the phenomenal one, Carlos Larry.
There we go. She gets her. Oh, of course. Well, that match was already booked. Like you and Carmelita. Like I already booked that match. So there's a pair of super shows back to back. So what I've decided to do was cut each. What I decided to do, instead of having like one card or one super show that's 14 matches long, in this case it's 2 super shows that are 7 matches long. And I have you booked on the second of the 2 of them. And last but certainly not least,
And from Annapolis, Maryland, weighing in at 252 pounds, Big Money Joshua James.
so on the off chance that I have back-to-back super shows, I'll do that. And plus, I also want to do something special for, well, some of you may already know this, but some of you might not have known this. But recently this week, we had the unfortunate passing of Ted Turner. Of course, most of you may know that, as far as wrestling is concerned, was that he was the one that had professional wrestling on TBS. Like, it started with Georgia Championship Wrestling, and then eventually it was World Championship Wrestling, which would ultimately be the name of the company that he bought from Jim Crockett, which in itself would have been bought out by the WWE, and, well, we all know what happened after that. But with all that said, let's continue. But I did want to do something special for, like a super card that featured WCW. Regardless of whether it was in the early 90s or the late 80s and into the early 90s, or the late 90s going into 2001. So I do want to do a show based on that. So the least I can do is give you guys a slice, or give Carlos in this case a slice of what WCW was like. And he was also the creator of Captain Planet. I did not know that. And now Carlos getting a table and is going to put it in there. But I did not know that. A Russian leg sweep, and then a clothesline onto the Gladiator Diamond. And now Joshua setting up the table. But, well, now the table gets taken down. Nice. I really wish I could change the camera in terms of like how often it cuts. But as it is, a super kick right to Alicia, Warrior Empress. But then Joshua fights back, only to get drop kicked again. And then a Warrior Cutter, but missed. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I meant to do this. Hang on. Oh, he was? I did not know that. Okay, there we go. I wanted a camera angle that helped with this. There we go. Hey, Arkham 500, what's up, man? Some like, how do I put this? You do have a match later, as a matter of fact, like, as yourself. And as that happens, a back body drop onto Warrior Empress. And now Joshua's going to set up for a powerbomb. Uh-oh. And a powerbomb. And the table did... What the heck? What happened there? So it's going to be you and a man by the name of Rob Gamer. So that's your opponent. Wait, I did not know LeVar Burton was on the show. I didn't even recognize him. He did a great job convincing me it was somebody else. Yeah, I'm surprised the table didn't break. Oh, but then Diamond gets set on the table. Oh, never mind. But then Diamond... Nope. However, Carlos now has Alicia, and Carlos powerbombs her, and Carlos gets the win for himself and Joshua. But I always knew about LeVar Burton through, Star Trek, and of course, the Reading Rainbow. And Carlos gets the win for him and Joshua. And now has the chance to fight, or not has the chance, he does get to fight Brooklyn Joker for the title. Well, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Well, at least I can put that as one of the matches. In fact, let me reorder one of these. Oh, that's right. He was in Roots. Roots people. Hey, what's happening, my man? Oh, yeah, Whoopi Goldberg was there, too. Yeah. Let me catch up in the chat really quickly. I'm just making... Oh, wait a minute. I forgot Carlos already had a match. I'm sorry. Carlos already had a match. Well, you know what? Carlos can challenge for the championship at another time. Well, not on the Super Show, but heck, even in a bonus match he could. So, as it is, Carlos will have that in his back pocket. But in the meantime, let me catch up on the chat. Hold on. He was a young Kunta Kente on Roots. All right. So now let me look at the next match really quickly. And as a matter of fact, I was talking about Arkham's match against Rob Gamer. Well, that match is up next. But first, I got to get Rob. So I have Arkham. So let me get Mr. Rob Gamer. Although I'm not sure if he's awake at this time, but at least I can let him know. LeVar Burton. Or actually, I could just share it with him, like, and timestamp it so he doesn't have to look for it. And to be fair, he didn't expect this, so I'm not gonna, you know. You accidentally misspelled his name. Oh. Okay, there we go. And up making his official debut for this season.
It is for the WWE United Kingdom Championship. Making his way to the ring, representing the varsity.
Oh, not a problem, Alicia.
England, weighing in at 203 pounds, Rob the Gangster.
So, of course, this is Rob Gamer. And, of course, I should mention that his favorite superhero is Nightwing, hence why he's dressed as him. And he's like, yes, 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 yes. I'll share it with him just in case. Maybe he is awake, I'm not sure. Now, I should also mention that there is a subplot in this whole thing, and that, well, you know, during a collaboration that I had with Rob Gamer, Jose was there, and we were playing Splatoon 3, and Jose was getting frustrated to a point because he was losing all the time. Go figure.
And his opponent, representing the Hurt Business from Boca Raton, Florida, weighing in at 222 pounds, the Archetype.
So, as I was saying, so in other words, Jose got under Rob's skin to a point where, well, actually, no, he didn't get under his skin. It was more so that Jose kind of took it out on Rob in the sense that he was, you know, like I said, he was losing a lot on Splatoon, and then they ended up getting heat. And then, of course, Rob wanted to fight Jose, but of course, instead of, you know, fighting Rob himself, he sent Arkham to fight Rob instead. So that's how we got this match.
There are no pinfalls, submissions, disqualifications, or countouts. The only way to win is for a superstar to force their opponent inside of the casket. After closing the casket lid shut, the remaining superstar will be declared the winner. Now, let the match begin!
All right. Match underway. This spin kick. And not only that, but Rob Gamer is defending the United Kingdom Championship in addition to that. So not only has Jose made an enemy out of like AJ and to an extent myself, but he's also made enemies with Rob and now just recently Laser. But now both these guys are going back and forth. Now for Rob, he too wants to get his hands on Jose, but to do that, he'll have to get by his. He'll have to get by the house to get there. Oh no, it's a championship that existed. Yes. And it wasn't deactivated that long ago, so it's not like it was like very obscure. And oh my goodness! Rob throws Arkham onto the casket while it was closed. And now, wait, what's Rob doing here? Now Rob has a garbage can. But then Arkham takes it away from him, only to get kicked in the head. Although now Rob, got kicked in the head himself. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it was for NXT UK. But unfortunately, the biggest thing that caused that to crash was unfortunately COVID. Like COVID really ruined it. Because any of the audiences that would have paid to see it, they had to watch it on television only. But right now, Arkham is laying the smackdown on Rob. I forget how many wrestlers had it, but the most dominant champion was Walter, now known as Gunther, as well as Pete Dunne, among some of the others. Ilya Dragunov was also a champion. Anyway, Arkham gets out of the casket, and the match continues. And then, nope, nice counter. And then sent right in the casket. But couldn't close the lid on it. And so far, Arkham just playing some cat and mouse games, and then a spin kick right to the head of Rob Gamer. And then a jumping kick to the head, or an enziguri. And then a Spanish fly. Opens the lid. And nice judo throw. Yeah, definitely learned a lot from Nightwing, the character, did Rob. It's like anybody, like, while some guys can have the look, they might not have the skill, but yet Rob has the skill. Although you certainly wouldn't want to overlook Arkham 500 himself. And now Arkham. Nope. Nice counter by Rob. All right, now set into the corner. Nope. I mean, of course, Rob using that quickness, but Arkham with a DDT. And then a reversal, and out goes, or in goes Arkham, out of the ring into the casket, and Rob, can you get it? No, not yet. And now we have a chair. Oh, but Rob kicked it out of his hands. And now Rob laying the smackdown on Arkham 500. And now, what's Rob doing? Well, whatever Rob was going to do, a Russian leg sweep, even though I know for sure that Rob is not Russian. And then a slap across the chest, and then a cutter. And then slammed right on the edge of that casket, and then thrown into it. Now going to try to shut the lid. Can he do it? He does. And Rob Gamer has won. Oh, that's awesome. And you're just in time to see the end of that casket match, in which Rob Gamer, the guy that is dressed as his favorite guy, or rather who is cosplaying as Nightwing, got the win over Arkham 500. As Arkham 500 is now put to rest. Well, anyway, congratulations to Rob Gamer. But welcome to the show, Temple. Anyway, up next, we have ourselves a 4-on-4 match. In fact, I'll let the principals know about it, so let's get right to it. But congratulations to Rob and Arkham. Oh, well, that's awesome. I'm happy that you got to see some football. Not to be confused with American football, by the way. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to let the guardian of Colton Richards, and as well as Domina and Isabella. And then I'll also let Paper Tay know. So let me get those guys. Oh, of course. I imagine. Well, hey, I imagine Carlos knows full well what he's getting himself into with Brooklyn Joker. All right, so I got AJ. Let me get Mr. Chaos Reaper. And last but certainly not least, the famous Paper Tay. Okay, got it. All right, let me catch up on the chat. And that's, yeah, absolutely. I imagine Carlos is going to be ready for him as much as he can. All right, let's get right to it. I wonder if Temple has like his own character or if he has an original character or anything like that. But up first,
Is an elimination match. Introducing first, from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Natalia.
so of course you have Natalia, who is. Oh, that's right. That would be Sawyer. Yeah. Well, given that, Temple has a track record and Sawyer, of course, is one of his characters. I forgot that it was one of his characters, but then again, I've been so busy with work, sometimes I do forget things. But up next is Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
From Reno, Nevada, weighing in at 281 pounds, Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Of course, he was the biggest thing well, literally he was one of the biggest things as part of the Hart Foundation. A two-time WWE Tag Team Champion. Is Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And of course, he's standing next to his daughter. Also, rest in peace to Jim the Anvil Neidhart. So it would be Sawyer. Well, you know what? Given your talent as a promoter, and given your track record, I honestly think that Sawyer is ready. I think he's ready, if he wants to be, in Blue Toad Wrestling. And then, of course, you have Bret the Hitman Hart, a two-time tag team champion, a two-time Intercontinental champion, and a five-time WWE or World Wrestling Federation champion, as well as the only ever two-time King of the Ring winner and a Royal Rumble winner. Now, as far as World Championship Wrestling is concerned, or WCW is concerned, the less said about that, the better.
And their partner from Manchester, England, weighing in at 260 pounds, the
And then, of course, we can't forget about Davy Boy, who, Davy Boy, the British Bulldog. He's been tag team champions on 3 different occasions. Once with the Dynamite Kid and twice with Owen Hart, the late great Owen Hart. But also a one-time Intercontinental Champion, the first ever European Champion, as well as a Hardcore Champion. But the only title that he never won was the WWE or the World Wrestling Federation Championship. So, and it's a shame. It really is, because I honestly think that yeah, absolutely. I still remember when it was the WWF, but yeah. I do miss the World Wrestling Federation, though. But up next is the opponents. And we start out with the lovely couple.
And beautiful Isabella Richards and Colt Richards, the Order.
So I give you the couple, nicknamed No Surrender because they never do, not willingly at least. So the young man in teal, that is Colton Richards. And then, of course, the woman is his girlfriend, Isabella. And I got to say, Colton is a gentleman. But then again, Isabella is a lady. And then oh yes, I give you one of my best friends on YouTube. I give you Paper Tay. You can you can look her up. She's awesome. As a streamer and as a personality, and mainly as a person. I mean, she's the total package. Granted, she doesn't have the muscles that Lex Luger has, but I would hate to say that she's not strong, because she's absolutely strong. She's not just strong in strength, she's strong in character, and she's rich. Not necessarily in money, but in personality. And of course, the Paper surname refers to the fact that she's a big fan of the Paper Mario series, hence the name. And last but certainly not least,
and representing Demolition from Osaka, Japan, weighing in at 270 pounds, one half of the NXT Mutant Tag Team Champions, and one half of the All-Star Men's World Tag Team Champions, the Omega Wolf.
so I give you the Dragon Wolf Knight of Osaka, Japan. Yep. I decided to, whenever the titles are on the line, to put both of those sets of championships on the line so that, at least they can be shown off. So I wanted to, I didn't want to throw away any work that didn't work. So I was like, I wanted to showcase it. And there's Tomara. So of course you have the Hart family against the alliance of Isabella, Colton Richards, Paper Tay, and Tomura. So that match is up next. And we're going to start, and fittingly enough, we start off with the two women. Or actually, no, there's three women. I apologize. But we start out with Natalia and Isabella. And then, of course, naturally a tag to Colton. And, of course, our rule set for these matches is pinfall, submission, count out, or knockout. And it's elimination style. All right, now a tag to Uncle Brett. And then slingshot it into the turnbuckle, and then a cheap shot from the British Bulldog. Oh, but then a back elbow. And then a pin on a Bret Hart. 1, 2. Ooh, that would have been something if Bret was the first eliminated. Nice drop kick to nice drop kick by Colton. Then a tag to Tomura. And then a pin onto Brett. 1, 2, no. Oh, okay. So, I wonder if you have... I wonder if there's another character, or maybe I can find another character that represents a temple, or someone from Lucha Underground, or represents the ethos of what you do, and say, hey, look, it's Mr. Temple Plays or something. I don't know. I could do that. But, I mean, there's options, though. If you still want to put in Sawyer, I can do that as well. Anyway, sent into his own corner is the Hitman. And then a tag to Paper Tay. But then clothesline onto Tay. And then Tay hits the Hitman. But then, oh, nice reversal. And sent into her own corner. And then a jumping bulldog on Paper Tay. Though I think you forgot to include the W in the word hole. Yeah, he's here too. In fact, he was in that Royal Rumble match that happened about a match or two ago before you came in. And, whoa, look at the strength of Paper Tay. I don't know how, well, I mean, of course Paper Tay is strong, but I didn't think she would be able to do that to the Anvil, mainly because of how big he is. Although right now, here's a guy that's, strong enough to take on the Anvil. Not necessarily the biggest, but certainly strong enough. Yeah, Neela's here too. And they also have a new recruit as well. Now working over the Anvil. Back elbow. Well, actually, well, it wasn't my idea, but I was like, well, we do need some villains. I mean, we need some villains to counteract and, to draw some money, so to speak. So, from a business standpoint, out of character. But in character, I would say they came in uninvited, but still they came in. And by they, I mean Clockwork and Neela. Though you could probably make the argument that the new recruit that they have was the one that let them sneak in. Yeah, Alicia was the one who made the character of Clockwork. And then it was Atticus who created the character of Neela. All right, so now we have Tomura and the Anvil in the ring. And now going for a Cobra Clutch. Nope, a rope break. And then Anvil sent into his own corner. Double axe handle. Nope, Anvil fights back. Oh, so you like to go wherever you please? Well, we would like to send you to jail, but instead of doing that, that'd be too easy, actually. And now a pin. 1, 2. No, kick out by Anvil as he was pinned by Isabella. Oh, but then a pin onto Isabella by the Bulldog. 1. Nope. Anyway. And that's Sly Cooper. If you were to ask me several years ago compared to now, I would have had no clue what to do with him. Oh, I see. But right now, Anvil, dazed and confused at this point, then attack to Brett. And now they have Isabella in a bit of trouble. And then a pile driver right to Isabella. 1. Nope. Right now, Isabella's in a bit of trouble. Nope. And Isabella shoves him off. Now sent into her own corner. And then another Bulldog, but well scouted this time. And, well, went for it twice and paid for it twice, did Bret Hart. And then a jumping facebuster. I gotta get a name for that move, but broke it up by the Anvil. And nope, countered by the Hitman. I did get a chance to listen to the song known as The Hitman by Queen. And I was like, wow, this is very underrated. I did not know that there was a song called Hitman. I was like, well, why wasn't this the song for Bret Hart? Although the one for Bret Hart that, that the WWE did come up with back in the 90s was pretty cool. But the Hitman was pretty cool too. Very, very cool. And very, very appropriate. And now going for the Dragon's Bite is Isabella, who herself is a dragon person. Or is a dragon, so to speak. And a Russian leg sweep, even though Brett is Canadian. So far, Bret Hart doing pretty well in controlling the pace and making certain that Isabella does not tag out. They did not call him the excellence of execution for nothing. Although Bret gets sent into the opposite corner. And now Bret, nope. And now wait, what's... Ooh, nice athleticism there by Isabella, but Isabella took her eye off of Bret. And a reverse DDT. Goes for the pin on Isabella. 1, 2, nope, 1. Only gets a 1. And a backbreaker to Isabella. Well, if you're Isabella, you got to get out of there. I mean, Isabella has been in for quite some time. But instead of tagging out, she just continues to go. Yeah, absolutely. But then again, that's the gist of these things. Oh, then a quick tag to Natalya. Only for her to get an unprettier or the kill switch. And then broken up by Uncles Bret and Davey Boy. And then a drop breaker to Natalya. And finally get a tag out to Colton. Only for Colton to get an elbow for his trouble. What a match, though, so far. It's been back and forth, but I have to think that whoever can get the first elimination will have a great opportunity to win. Now going for the Muda stretch, which is the name of the actual move. But, of course, if anyone would know how to get out of it, it would be Natalya. And Natalya just got kicked in the face. Oh, and then attacked her dad. Uh-oh. Now the Anvil sends him into the ropes. Nope. Nice counter by Colton. And now Colton going for the Reaper's Grasp, but saved by his daughter was the Anvil. And then a roll-up pin onto Colton. Nope, kick out by Colton. Not even a 1 count. Nice counter and escape by Colton. But Colton couldn't run away for too long. Not that he was trying to run away, but then a back body drop. Ooh, punch right to the face. Right to the side of the face, rather. But still. And another one. But then Colton responding with one of his own. And now he's going to try to break the man's arm. And then nice STO. But then Anvil going to set up Colton for... Uh-oh. What's he got? What? I don't think I've ever seen Anvil use that move before IRL. But, you know, fair play to him. I guess he must have done some practice, I suppose. But Anvil fired up at this point. Hey, welcome back there, Riley. And Hurricane Rana into a pin. 1, 2, 3. And of course, we'll see Riley in the War Games match later in the show. So you do have another match later on, Riley. But the Anvil gets eliminated by Colton, and of course, the Hitman not too happy with that. I can permit one more gladiator. I just don't want to have too many of them. But if there is one gladiator to join with Laser, I know just the guy. Or actually, I know 2 people, but I know at least one. But well, there's 2 candidates. I'll probably DM it to you as well. And then a clothesline right to Bret Hart. And as that happens, a tag out to Paper Tay. And then Tay now puts Bret Hart in the bear hug, but too close to the ropes. Wait, hi back. What? No, his name is Riley. Hi, Wally. And by the way, Wally, you were in a match a couple of matches ago in that Rumble match. All right, now we have Colton back inside the ring again. And a jumping bulldog and connects on that. But that, uh-oh. Well, the inverted atomic drop definitely will get his attention. And another Russian leg sweep. Oh, but now Colton goes right after Natalya. And Uncle Brett saved her. There we go. Okay, that was kind of weird. But now both Bret Hart and Colton Richards are on the outside. Those are the 2 legal competitors. All right, well, now Colton gets sent onto the floor. And Bret gets back in the ring. Colton has to get back in by the count of 10 or he's out. And he does. And an inverted atomic drop again on a Colton. And then a backbreaker onto Colton. Then sent into the corner. Nope. And now going for the Rings of Saturn, a la his uncle AJ, but escaped is Bret Hart. Nice gut wrench suplex by the Hitman. So far, the only person eliminated is Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And then a tag to Paper Tay. Nice takedown on Tay. Are you serious? You actually got to see it? Uh-oh, wait a minute. Bret Hart's going to go for, or rather, Paper Tay's going to go for it. Oh, but Bret Hart was able to escape so Paper Tay was going to go for the paper shredder. But Bret Hart knew what was coming, so he got out of it. Of course, it was reminiscent of Razor Ramon, so he knew how to get out of that move. Yeah, but hey, you did pretty well though, Mr. Raleigh. Now you have the two powerhouses. You have Paper Tay and the British Bulldog. Oh, that's so cool that I still wish that, Britain still, like, any part of Britain or any part of England hosted WrestleMania. I'm definitely skipping the next WrestleMania until it's hosted by, Great Britain. Or at least another place where I can say, all right, I'll watch it. But right now, Paper Tay, wow, look at the strength. And Paper Tay fired up. And look at this. I mean, and British Bulldog is no small man. Hey, Atticus Black, what's up, man? By the way, your boy, Thomada's in this match, as is Isabella and Colton, of course. Well, I'm going to be spending time with my my mom, Mrs. DeJew, so I probably wouldn't be able to watch it. But I don't begrudge anyone who does, though. Right now, one person has already been eliminated, and wait a minute. Oh, a leg breaker right through Tomada. And now British Bulldog stomping a muddle in him. Well, I was in my mother's tummy at the event, so when I got older, I got given a videotape. I watched the match, and I got hooked. I see. Well, you know what? If I come back after the mother's dinner and time permits, yeah, then I'll do it. So never say never. One, no, kick out. And then an electric chair drop to Tay. But has to get back onto the apron, though. And then, powerbomb right to British Bulldog. And then Tomada, sent over the top rope by the British Bulldog. Okay. Oh, wow. British Bulldog using his strength to just simply pull Tomada off the apron on the floor. All right, now both guys are on the floor. And a jumping knee, a ripcord knee. Yeah, what's up, odds? Now, both these guys are risking a count out, though. Now, Tomada gets in, but can the British Bulldog get out? Well, the British Bulldog got counted out. So now we're down to 4-on-2. I'm doing pretty well, man. I'm doing pretty well, Mr. Odds. But now it's 4-on-2 in favor of the Hart Foundation's opponents. Right now it's Natalya going after Tomada. 1, 2. No, kick out by Tomada. Then sent into her own corner is Natalya. Uh-oh. Then a buckle bomb right to Natalya. And countered by Natalya with a reverse DDT. And a quick tag to Colton. I mean, I got to say, you did a great job. You know, the fans in Britain they did a great job with, Clash at the Castle, as well as All Out, All In and All Out in 2023 and 2024. And you guys did a great job making that event special with All Elite Wrestling. So I got to give you guys credit for that. Though I would be remiss if I didn't mention the people from Lyon, France. And some of the other European countries, or the Western European countries. And now Colton looking to get another count out. Although Natalya gets right back up, but Colton... Teenage Dirtbag. I thought it was Teenage Wasteland. And now going for a quick pin on Colton 1. No. And a curtain call and a pin onto Natalya. 1. No. Kick out at 1. Okay. Let me just check my... I always check my messages in case someone's trying to get to me. Anyway, a tag to Isabella. And a face buster. Or a Bella Buster, that's what we'll call it. All right, now sent into the corner is Natalya, but then tags in Paper Tay. Okay. And then sent into the Hart Foundation corner. Nope. Anyway, Russian leg sweep, and now going for a couple of punches on Paper Tay. Nope. Tay with that power. Of course, Natalya certainly does not lack power. Now she pulls her away from the ropes, does Natalya. I'm good, good, good. Yep. Off the ropes? Nope. Teenage dirtbag. Not something I would aspire to. Anyway, a quick tag to Uncle Brett. And wow. Right now it's just a matter of time before the Hart Foundation succumb in this match. Unless they can make a move in terms of a comeback, this is just academic here. Although, wait a minute. A pile driver right to Tay. Oh, but he's not done. And a backbreaker. Then turns it over to Natalya. I'd imagine it would be. Though it would be cool if they, if more events took place in Manchester, as well as some of the other places like Liverpool, Leeds, Blackpool, Although Natalya with another quick roll-up. Nope, not quite. Ooh, nice forearm shot. And then a running knee. Hey, I hope so too. I hope Tony Khan does the same. All right, now attack to Tomura. Oh, I see. And then Tay, of course, has to exit. There we go. And now Tomura has got him up for a power bomb, or soccer for you Americans. No, I call it football, and then I call the football that most Americans call it American football. Judgment Day 2008? Oh, so it's been that long? Although, wait a minute. Now going for the sharpshooter, and she's got it, but too close to the ropes. All right, now attack to Uncle Brett. A double back body drop. Ooh, nice running knee on to Uncle Brett. But, I mean, what a match this is. And I give credit to the Hart Foundation, but they have to... But unless they can find a way to finish this is insane. Yeah. And now, wait a minute. Then a jumping elbow. And is that enough to beat him? Well, it probably would have been had it not been for Natalya. And now Bret Hart in a lot of trouble. Absolutely. Not that I'm taking sides, but it's true. You never say never, though. A tag to Isabella. Although, I'm not sure why Isabella stepped out, only to step back in again. Whoa! Okay, I've never seen her do that before. But then, an inverted atomic drop onto Isabella. And then, whoa, what kind of move is that? 1, 2, no, kick out by Bret Hart. Wow, what a match, folks. And then a shoulder tackle to Bret Hart. And then takes out Natalya. all I will say is I'm not a yeah. I mean, I somewhat understand why, but I'm gonna refrain too. Welcome to the show, AJ. Oh, set right into the steps was Bret Hart. Now both Hart and Isabella are risking a count out though. And wait a minute. Oh, both Isabella and Bret Hart just got eliminated, so it's a double count out. Now it all comes down to Natalya against Colton, Tomada, and Paper Tay. She's going down the GCW Bloodsport route. Oh, wow. All right, a reversal. Nope. And then a spear. Nice sleeper slam. And then goes for a triangle choke. But Natalya finds a way to get out of that one. And nice flapjack. And decides to go for a submission of her own on Colton, but Colton gets out. And now Colton going for a spinning face buster. Prettier style. 1, 2, 3. It's over. So Colton wins and survives along with Paper Tay and Tomada and avenges Isabella. So while it wasn't a sweep, it was close. And also, welcome, Kelly. Well, that was our 4-on-4 tag team match. But up next, we have a match that, well, on paper, it might not. Well, I'll tell you more about it because there is a storyline thread with this one that's coming up. And it features Sly Cooper, or rather, someone close to him. And it looks like Natalya suffered a minor injury, but of course that was because she was in there the whole time. But anyway, we're going to get right to that next match because, well, the principals are here, so we'll just get right to it. So this next match will be a triple threat match, and it features. I'll show you who it features, and it all ties to all three of them. But really, it ties to... Oh, wait a minute.
The following is a triple threat Falls Count Anywhere match. Please welcome the special referee for this match, Mankind.
Before I get to that, of course, the referee that was supposed to referee this match, well, his flight got delayed through no fault of his own, so he couldn't make it, so we had to get somebody, and we got somebody with experience, and that is Mankind. So he is the referee for this, and it makes sense. He has prior experience, so there you go.
And the participants, first representing the Triangle of Terror from Puerto Rico, weighing in at 235 pounds, the Witch Doctor Tyler.
So this is Dr. Ty, and of course you may have remembered him from. You might remember him as Ty Wyatt, but of course he has since left the Wyatt compound and has since joined up with Clockwork and Neela. And the reason he's a doctor is because he's a witch doctor, hence the face paint and everything. He kind of just looks like Baron Samity's much angrier, little brother, if such a thing was if that was such a thing. But it ties, pun intended, it ties back to him because his next opponent in this triple threat match is this man. Where is he? Oh, there he is. And that is Bray Wyatt. Of course, Bray was possessed by the Fiend. And has since freed himself from that influence, and he's Bray Wyatt once again, but now he does want to get some retribution on Ty, mainly for leaving him. Yep, welcome to the show, KK. And that little light of his, he's going to let it shine. And there he is, Bray Wyatt. But there's one other component, and that is our third contestant. And that is Angela Cooper. And for her, it's quite simple.
The CIA from Paris, France, Super Smooth Angela Cooper.
For Angela, it's very simple. She wants to get her hands on Dr. Ty, mainly due to his association with Clockwork and Neela. Of course, you would have to fight Bray to, have the chance to get to him, but that's how all three of these competitors have gotten to this match. So for those in the chat, who do you think is going to win, or who do you want to win? Bray Wyatt, Ty, or Angela? All right, match underway. Here we go. Oh, there we go. No, clothesline on Wyatt, and then clocked in the face by Ty. Only for Ty to get taken out. And then a DDT on Bray and a pin immediately. And it is one fall to a finish, so it's not elimination style. Backbreaker. So basically this match is based on a grudge in which two people want to get to one guy, but they have to fight each other to get to him as much as he wants to stick it to one of the two. So that's pretty much the crux of the match. Oh, punch right to the face. And then, wow, nice move there onto Wyatt. But then a quick roll-up pin. One, no. Nice count there by Mick Foley. Anyway, nice swanton, and then a pin immediately. Nope. Breaks up the pin. And an atomic drop right on the tail, literally. And then, nope, Angela fights out of it. And then Angela, she's got that sledgehammer and hits Ty with it. I can't even talk. Then does the same to Wyatt and then pins him off of that. 1, 2, no. Gonna have to do more than that to Bray, but it's a good first start. Off the ropes, and the gun stun, just like her mother. 1, nope, broken up by Ty. But yeah, Temple, this is the guy in the face paint. And with the black trunks, not the pants, but that is Dr. Ty, the guy that joined him. But right now, Bray, nope. Gets taken out by Angela. And then Angela gets taken out with a punch. And then Angela, okay, I'm not sure why you did that, Angela. Anyway, a pin, 1, nope, broken up. And now, the Cooper Destroyer. And then a pin. 1, 2. No, kick out by Ty. That could have been it. And as quick as a fox and as quick as the raccoon that she is. Oh! But couldn't avoid getting hit from behind with that sledgehammer. However, Bray Wyatt turns it around and hip tosses Ty and then pins him. 1, 2, no. And Wyatt with an inverted suplex, or a reverse suplex, I should say. And an Uranage onto Ty, and then a back body drop that sends him outside does Bray Wyatt. There are no countouts, though. And then, now Bray has those golden steps. Oh my God! He threw him right in the face of Ty Wyatt. Oh, and it is. Oh, I forgot to mention it's false count anywhere. 1, 2. No. It's false count anywhere, but it's one fall to a finish, though. Oh, went for a senton, but got the knees instead. Although Angela is allowing the two guys to go in there and kill each other, which is not a bad idea. Although, wait a minute, now has the mandible claw. One, 2, 3, and Bray gets the win. I mean, Angela was too busy gloating that she forgot that she had to break up the pin, and Bray ends up winning because of it, and on Dr. Ty nonetheless. So for Bray, he gets his revenge, but for Angela, it'll have to come another time. Follow the buzzards, he says. All right, next up is our double main event, and it stars Spike Ryan and Golden Angelo. So I'm gonna let I'm not sure if Spike is still in the chat, but I'll let Angelo know. Let me see. I don't see him. Yeah. However, this is the last of the round 3, or no, the last of the round 2 matches, and of the King of the Ring tournament. So let me get Mr. All right. Oh, let me catch up on the chat. Okay, there's Brandon. All right, now let me get Mr. Angelo. Okay, there we go. I had to get my boy Angelo, B-O-I boy. All right, so as you can see, Spike Ryan is going to have his sister and his wife. Whereas Angelo will have, Kathy Kelly and Miss Elizabeth to accompany him. And of course, Angelo
is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing the generation from Glasgow, Scotland, weighing in at 238 pounds, the up, down, down champion, Goldman Angelo.
So Angelo is the up, down, down champion as well. But of course, he has the two ladies to watch his back. And also because he's a big fan of 007, James Bond. Hence why he's cosplaying as him. But here's a guy that is himself. And in fact, here he is. Well, there you see Brenda. Followed by...
and his opponent, representing DIY from Richmond, Virginia, weighing in at 217 pounds, Ryan!
And then, of course, the one with the glasses, that is Cheyenne Ryan, the wife. And, of course, the man himself is Spike Ryan. And unlike the last two matches where we had replacement matches, where we had to get alternates to fill in spots of people that are no longer with us for one reason or another, no, these two were already, they were in the tournament to begin with. So it was only fair to put these two against each other for that match to be in the double main event. Okay, let's get right to it. And now going for a modified sleeper on Angelo. This is under normal match rules, though. Now trying to wrench the arm. Now in a hammerlock onto Angelo. Ooh. And some back elbows to get out of that. And now exchanging blows. Well, after this, we will go to our War Games match. And maybe even a few bonus matches if time permits, but obviously I'm not going to, But if not, I could always come back for part 2 later tonight. But now look at this. Oh, now they're throwing hands. Look at this. I mean, these two are evenly matched in the sense that these guys can fight, but then 1, 2, no. Ooh, that would have been something. Now rolls out of the ring. All right. Sends him into the ropes. Then a drop kick. Nice move there. And then, oh, nice arm drag, and now into a headlock. Still has the headlock on him. No, reversed it into an arm lock. Now into a hammerlock onto Angelo. Although it would kind of be funny if Angelo and... I wouldn't have expected it either, but I was trying to look for two women who would pass as Bond girls. For the James Bond look. I mean, obviously Miss Elizabeth was one, but then, so then it became a matter of, okay, well, who else would I see accompany Angelo? As Spike Ryan hits the pedigree, and then Sister Abigail, or no, the Sister Brenda. That's what he'll call it. 1, 2. No! Oh, almost got it. I don't know how he didn't get it, but a moonsault, and then pins him again. 1, 2, 3, and Spike Ryan gets the win as he advances into, as he is the last to advance into round 3. And for his efforts in round 3, he gets to face off against Dragonheart. And of course, that moonsault was the finishing touch. And Angelo, he was game, but Spike Ryan got the job done. And, well, that was a 2-star match, but, well, not all of them are going to be winners. But anyway, let me exit out here. And, all right, let me move over. I think if they had interfered, they would have just given it to you. Like, it would have caused Angelo to lose and you to win. So probably they thought better of it. And plus, there were people outside, so that kind of prevented that. Okay. So let me go outside. I hope JW is still in the chat. But before I do, let me make one change, and that is to put a championship, if I can find it. There it is. No, not that one. Where is it? Oh, this one right here. For my good friend Rob, who had just won the match that the championship was there. Okay, so now let's move over. You know what? Let me reach out to Mr. JW. And well, actually, before I do that, let me set it up first a little bit. So we're gonna go to war. So we'll go to War Games. And you know what? I'll show off the other one since I showed off Fall Brawl last time. And then also, let me make sure. There we go. Or no, I had it at 150 for the other one. So, okay, so we got, okay, trash can. And then I can put a guitar in there. And then I might put in, say, a shovel. How about that? There we go. All right, so we have, on one hand, Dakota, former Blue Toad Wrestling World Champion. And on the other side, you have JW Caliber, another former champion. Okay. I'm just going to let both these guys know that they're up next. Well, both of them, that is. So let me get Mr. JW. Where's JW? Oh, right. Well, he'll be back. But anyway, there's Maddie. Anyway, and then by the same token, I'll let Dakota know. All right, you got it. All right, let me see. Who do we got? Yeah, yeah. Damien is here as well as his sister Maddie. We saw Maddie in that tag team match, or no, not the tag team match, but in the Rumble match that we had not that long ago. Okay. I'm not sure if Tenu's still in the chat, but let's see. Who would he? I'm trying to think like who would Dakota have set second? Hmm. I'm trying to think. Maybe he would send somebody like he would probably send somebody like Riley to come in, and then JW would need to send somebody that can keep up with Riley. So he would probably send somebody like Jamar, and I'll give him his second outfit show just to showcase that. And then of course, well, we did have somebody drop out of the super generation, so we have to get some new recruits. And one of those new recruits is Goku. Yes, Goku's in this. Although I'll change out one of his no, not that one. That one. Yeah. So to match power with Goku, you would need somebody like Mike Watson. Oh, of course you could. Yeah, definitely send him in. You could send him in. Where was he? Oh yeah, Mike Watson. And then last but certainly not least, making his second appearance is oh no wait, wrong one. Tenu Miyalagin. And then of course by default we have primetime Sean Sanders. And I'll give him his second outfit. Why not? And then yeah, I'll give him this one there. Oh, there we go. All right. So before I go any further, I'll let some of the principals know Thank you. Oh, never mind. Riley's here. But yeah, Riley, you're in there, and of course you are going to be teaming up with your friend Dakota, Goku, and Tenu. So it's the four of you against JW, Jamar, Mike Wasson, and Sean Sanders. All right, so I'm not sure if Sean is watching, but if he is, I imagine he's. You could. All right, let me just let Mr. Primetime know. And then same thing with Mike Wasson. Oh, I see. Wait, your stats are. Oh, shoot. Okay, good thing you caught. Good thing you caught it. I'm like, what? What happened there? All right, let's fix that. Let's fix that. All right, let's help JW here. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, let's definitely fix that. Hey, what's up, Dakota? I just realized that. Well, anyway, I'm just gonna fix one thing and then we'll get started with that fight. I forgot to power him up. No wonder. But great to see you, though. Great to see the famous Dakota and the famous Riley. It sucks I have to do this, but it couldn't be helped. But this shouldn't take too long. Is your brother annoying you again? Well, hey, it was kind of like that with me and my sister, but hey, we were little kids, obviously. And plus, sometimes even my sister just kicked my butt really bad. Like, one time she really got me good with a big left hand. You know, say what you want, but she knew how to throw a punch. Okay, let me save. There we go. I'm sorry about that, JW. Thank you for catching that. I appreciate that. Yeah, as we all are for Dakota. Okay, let's try this again. All right, so we got Dakota. Oh, great time. Awesome. Thank you. Also, welcome to the show, Primetime. You're just in time for that match. Okay, JW. And then, oh yeah, that's right, Jamar. Ooh, somebody said something here. And someone who knows laser. Oh yeah, that's right. It was Riley. Riley. And then, of course, it was Sean Sanders, or Primetime. I'll show off his second outfit, like I said. And then, of course, Mike Wasson. Oh, let me catch up on the chat. No longer a thing. What? Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking to Temple Place. Oh, yeah. Mike Watson. True. Okay. Well, anyway, here is your new teammate, and by you, I mean not just Dakota, but also Riley, and that is Goku. Yes, you get Goku as part of your team. And of course, last but certainly not least, if I can find him, Tenu Miyalagin. Okay. And then the only other person I needed to get was Goku, and then we'll start. So let me get Mr. Goku. All right, let's get to it. And the winner of this will get to face off against AJ for the Blue Toad Wrestling Men's World Championship at the second of our two back-to-back Super Shows for the Blue Toad Wrestling World Championship.
The following contest is the men's War Games match. The rules of the match are as follows. Two teams will be contained in separate cages, with one member of each team starting the match. At regular intervals, alternating members
I know, right?
of each team will be
Absolutely.
released to enter the match. The team with the advantage will be the first to have a member released into the match. Once all competitors have entered, War Games officially begins. The match can be won by pinfall or submission. Exiting the cage will result in a forfeit. And now, let the war...
I don't know about that, but one person I do know is this man.
Introducing first, from Amarillo, Texas, weighing in at 235 pounds, the Hardcore Champion, J.W. Caleb.
I just noticed that there was money raining down. I'm like, JW, is that money? That's got to be fixed too? What? But JW, I didn't know you had money. Or rather, whose money is that? It's Grand Rio Valley, Texas. Oh, I see. Of course, for JW, this whole thing leads to the fact that this comes down to, you know, between JW and this man. Oh my gosh, I am so stupid. I forgot to put the championship on AJ, and Dakota still has the title. Little slow moving. What? Oh, you're. Oh, I see. Well, I hate to say this, Dakota, but you're not the champion right now. Well, we'll have to bring that back to AJ, but out of character, I forgot to put it on AJ outside of universe mode, so that's my fault there. But really, though, as far as JW and Dakota are concerned, the first time that these two fought, JW was the champion and Dakota was the challenger. Okay, cool. Well, then I'll have to get the up-to-date one then. No worries. But as it is, I can't say that JW underestimated him, but I imagine he was as surprised as anybody how tough Dakota was. But I have to think that by now, JW is certainly not going to take this young man too lightly. And in fact, he's just going to go in there and beat the brakes off of him if he could. Or not if, I know he can. And he could also do moves like that. Nice crossbody onto Dakota. Now at this point, until all 8 competitors enter, you can't win the match. This is just a fight. But somebody is going to join, and this is going to determine who will have the advantage for most of the match until the very end, that is. So who is it? It is Riley. So it looks like Dakota won the coin toss, or his team did. But let's see. Riley is going to get some toys. Oh, he's got a stop sign. Stop in the name of love. But you know what? With the amount of time that I have left before I have to get ready to go to my mother's the Mother's Day dinner. So what I will do is after this match, I'll end it, but then after that, after the dinner's done and I come back and time permits, I'll do a bonus match show. So that's what we will do, given the amount of time I have left. And anyway, nice sunset flip there onto JW. But right now, JW just has to weather the storm for the moment. Oh, nice face buster onto Riley. But then an inverted atomic drop. All right, so Jamar is going to come in. And he's going to go inside the match. Or inside the cage, that is. Riley just got baptized in the Rio Grande. I mean, I got baptized too, but not in the Rio Grande, and certainly not in the way that you did it. Anyway, Jamar does get sent into the second ring. And is going to fight off with Dakota. Oh, now Riley switches up and goes after Jamar. Oh, and a big boot right to JW. And wait, what's wrong with JW? Oh, nice poison Rana onto Riley. And now look at this. Look what he's doing to Riley. Look at this. Uh-oh, Riley. Oh, and he literally got his butt kicked. Oh, and JW just got busted open, and it was from Dakota, and then a ripcord lariat, but who's up next? And it's Goku. Ooh. uppercut right to Riley, though. And now Goku gonna step in and get that stop sign. Oh, set right into the cage was Jamar. And then an inverted scoop slam. And then Riley has JW with the attitude adjustment. Uh-oh. Going for another one. A back-to-back as Riley takes out JW. So if JW's team wins, then of course JW will face off against AJ Cool Kid. But if Dakota wins, then Dakota will face off against AJ for the title. And then a jumping DDT, then a knee right to Dakota. And Shawn Sanders will enter as he now has that stop sign and hits Dakota with it. And wait, what's wrong with Dakota? As Shawn Sanders doing a number on Primetime, and Dakota also got busted open too. Now he's bleeding. Both guys are bleeding. And as that happens, Riley gets a suplex neckbreaker for his trouble by Jamar. And a double rotation suplex, or not suplex, shooting star press to Riley. And then a backdrop onto Riley, a literal one. Oh, and then Dakota gets hit with that sledgehammer for a little bit. And then Shawn Sanders sent into ring number 2. All right, in a moment, Tenumi Alagin is about to make his way down. So, you know, we have since consolidated the 2 championships, the 4 Kings and the 4 Queens. And we've consolidated them to simply be the 4 Toads titles. But yeah, those are the type of matches that we can use it for. Well, even though Dakota had the numerical advantage in terms of like the matchups, like 2-on-1, 3-on-2, 4-on-3, honestly, JW has the actual advantage because, you know, Mike Watson's entering last in this thing. The 4 aces? That wouldn't even be a bad idea. I mean, I could always, I'll have to, you know, I only called it Toads because it is Blue Toads, but hey, 4 aces wouldn't be bad either. I'll just have to find I'll have to find a design for each of them, but hey, yeah, because you could have like an ace of spades, diamonds, hearts, and clubs. All right, so War Games has begun, and whoever can pin or force a member of the opposing team to submit will win the match for him and the team. Yeah, that would be cool, but I guess it would be too much to ask for, I suppose. And then, oh my goodness! Sean Sanders just got launched into ring number 2 by Tennu. All right, now you have 2-on-2 in each ring. And a ripcord clothesline, or, yeah, a ripcord lariat onto Dakota. Oh, but JW not finished with Dakota yet. And I'm not sure what JW calls that move, but if he has a name for it, let me know. Hits Dakota with that sledgehammer and then uses it to go after Goku. Then a spinebuster to Dakota. Baptized in the Rio Grande. Oh, so that's what you call it. Okay. The Rio Grande baptism. Or baptized in the Rio Grande. I like it. Of course that does work very well in, you know, in your promotion because it's your promotion. Oh wait, a pin onto Goku, 1. And a kick out, and then a pin, 1, 2, nope. Hi, Brooklyn Joker. Of course, Joker, you had a match much early in the show, in that Rumble match, but... Uh-oh, wait a minute. A Dominator onto Mike Wasson. But right now it's Mike Wasson who's getting double teamed in ring number 1. Meanwhile, a pin onto Tennu in ring number 2. 1, 2, 3! And JW gets the pin on Tennu Miyalagin. And JW has punched his ticket to face off against AJ one-on-one for the Blue Toad Wrestling World Championship. But as far as Dakota and Jose, given that each of those two were title holders that didn't get a proper shot, they'll get their shot, you know, at later on later dates along with Ezra Black. But in this case, it will be JW against AJ. Oh, well, wait, did AJ promise you a Blue Toad Wrestling title match? I was always under the impression that you were talking about the WWE World Heavyweight title, the one that you currently have, but well, I already have. Well, now we have JW and AJ booked, but I'll have to find a way to rectify the situation for those involved. And that includes Brooklyn Joker. And of course, Riley's very upset, but hey, I gotta say, you guys did a great job. My login? Yeah, like Tennu me a login. It's a play on your name. I just realized it. Oh, I see. Hmm. It would be a nice match to have, though. If you say Tenu me a login fast, you'd say Tenu tell me your login. Oh wow. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Hmm. You know what? I might have enough time for one bonus match, but let's see. I'm not sure if Damian Shelley is in here. Yeah, you did. It's just sad that Tenu. Well, then again, it could have gone. You could have just as easily won, but that's one of those matches where anybody could have won, but it happened. So okay, so is Damian Shelley in the chat, or Joshua? I'm going through the list of people that are in the chat, or that I have on the list that are in the chat, or Azriel Black maybe, or Griffin, oh Griffin Gamer, or Revy, or AJ himself maybe. I'm not sure. And then I have Joker himself, but he wants to save his potential championship match either against AJ or JW. But if he wants a bonus match now, he can have it. If not, I can save it for another time. Or Spike Ryan. Well, actually, no. Spike Ryan already had a match. Never mind. But if he wants one, he could. But I already gave him his match, so it's fine. Okay, there you go. So I have time for one bonus match, and we have Joker. So, all right, Joker, what's that bonus match going to be? And I'm also hoping it's not too long because I do have to get ready for Mother's Day dinner. So let's see. So what kind of match do we have here? Wait, you against JW? I mean, of course, you and JW are champions, but I imagine you just want to fight regardless. But what kind of match, though? All right, straight up one-on-one match. That's awesome. All right, I'm gonna what is it? Test out the UWE arena here. Okay, everything else is good. All right, so we have JW who just came off of that last match. Is in. As is Brooklyn Joker. Well, for Joker's WWE World Heavyweight title, so far nobody else. It's just you. But that's mainly because not many people are challenging him for his title. But that's not to say he's, a scaredy champion, because he's not. He's a fighting champion. But nonetheless, and because we've seen both of these guys, well, obviously Joker hadn't seen it, and plus, well, Well, just so that I'm able to get through this match and still have enough time to get ready for the dinner, I'll just skip the entrances and we'll just get right to the match, though. No offense, but we're just trying to get through this and then. And in fact, there he is right there. JW got himself stitched up and back to full health. He left space. Awesome. Anyway, nice power slam there onto JW. Ooh, clothesline. All right, now both guys go out. Yeah, it kind of does look like Cyberspace Federation in a way. Oh, no, wait, a roll-up. What? No. That's the idea? Oh. And then, oh, nice clothesline onto JW. But this could be a preview of what we might see should JW manage to win the championship. Ooh, headbutt. And a hip toss. Oh, and a shove off. And JW's like, bro, we can talk. Although I've never known JW to do that, although that could just be reverse psychology. Or just psychology in period, in short, really. And then nice jump kick. Wait, if JW wins, you'll give him a shot at your title? So now you have two people that can challenge for your title. Well, if JW wins, obviously. Because one other person who got into contention for your title, in fact, one person was like, I want to challenge for Joker's title, and then that person ended up winning, and that was Carlos Larry. So we could see another person go after that title. But by the same token, you could challenge, JW Caliber for his hardcore title if you want to. You don't have to, but that's if you win, obviously. And then a choke slam and a pin. 1, 2, no. Oh, nice counter. Was able to get the jump kick, but didn't quite get all of it. Off the ropes. Nope. And then a clothesline. Another one. And then JW, what's he doing? Well, whatever he was going to do, he didn't get it. A float over neck breaker. And then, oh, and he slapped his face. That might be a bad idea, although nice inverted power bomb into a pin in a UWE arena. 1, 2, no. And the strength of Joker, and by no means is JW a small man. It's very bright, it's very vibrant, and it's so awesome. I like it. Ooh, popped him right in the face. But then Joker rolls out as JW. What the? Wait a minute. Joker! I did not know Joker had powers. I'm surprised the referee didn't disqualify him for that. Oh, double axe handle. However, these guys are risking a count out. All right, now Joker gets right back in. As does JW. Okay, cool. But then JW sent into the ropes. Elbow back knuckle combination. And then, ooh, got the boots. Then picks up Joker. Ooh, back elbow by Joker, and then a big boot. All right, now goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. And if the kick didn't get him, the smell did. But I mean, that was back and forth. I mean, there really wasn't much else to say other than JW just ran out of gas. But then again, this was an amazing match. I mean, these are the men in black. Even though one of them has blue hair.
Here is your winner, the Jester Barker.
Well, in that case, Joker does win the match. So that means that JW doesn't get a shot at the WWE World Heavyweight title, but on the other hand, he has big fish to fry. And speaking of fish, I have to get some fish cooking. This has been Blue Toad Wrestling, and if time permits, I will come back, and it will be mainly a bonus match show. So that's what it would be. So I can also give those who even had a match on this show a chance to have bonus matches as well. But also, I will say that for those who were looking forward to UFC, that will be on Sunday night. So definitely be on the lookout for that. But until later on, if time permits. If not, I'll see you tomorrow for UFC. Who's up next? Well, by the time we get back, it will be back to Damian Shelley, but we'd start from the top of the list on down. But if we had continued, it would have been you, actually. But no worries. We will get back to it. And until then, this is the Blue Toad to Jew 22. And until then, happy Mother's Day. And in the words of Vanilla Ice, word to your mother. Ice, ice, baby, to go. Peace out, everybody. All right. No, no worries though, Brandon. No, no worries. No worries. All right.